So how much research did you do into the Sea Devils? Because I know they've appeared in the classic series. I know
Yeah.
you and I have readily admitted to our listeners, we're not experts in the classic stuff. We haven't watched it all. We've seen some. I knew of them,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I hadn't watched any episodes that they were in. And apparently there's not that many. They've only
Right.
been in like two TV stories, I think, um, up to this point. But it seemed like they were really trying to tout like, oh wow, the Sea Devils, we're bringing them back. This is what you guys wanted. But I was kind of like, there are a lot of people out there clamoring for this? I don't know. Like they didn't seem like they were that big of a deal. That it's not like some of the other villains maybe that have showed up multiple times. That I went back and watched clips. I
Okay.
didn't watch
Okay.
full episodes. I wish I had time. I would have loved to go back and watch full episodes, but I did watch some clips, and there was nothing in the clips that made me think, oh yeah, this is definitely a monster I want to see again. It was kind of like, oh, look how bad those costumes are.
I mean, it's Chibnall's MO, right? The like to bring back classic villains, monsters, baddies. Like that's what he wanted to do from the very beginning. He wanted to bring back the classic villains that weren't the Cybermen or the Daleks. So I think this is him just making good on that promise. Were people really clamoring for to have these back? I don't know. My knowledge of them very cursory. Just a confirmation of yes, they existed in the classics. Okay, cool. I'll wait and see what happens.
I knew they were related to the Silurians.
Yes.
Like I knew the
Yes.
whole idea of they're like the reptile or fish version of, I guess not reptile because the Silurians are reptile, but
Right.
like the water version, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Uh, and so there is that connection. We've seen the Silurian race plenty in New Who,
Yeah.
so it's just like another version of them. But the Silurians, they really did an upgrade, right? They
Oh
had,
yeah.
I think, out of all like a lot of the different aliens that they've brought back, they did the best job of modernizing. Madame Vastra,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
She looked awesome. Like
Oh
great
yeah.
makeup, just really good blending of kind of that alien look, but also humanoid, and looked completely different than the way they looked in the classic series, which they explained in different ways why. But they didn't do that with the with the Sea Devils. They just left them. I mean, they kind of cleaned up the look a little bit, but for the most part, they still looked pretty hokey. And
Yeah. No, I mean you're spot on. They definitely gave them a more modern look, but they still looked very gimmicky.
they
Like
blinked. They blinked.
their eyes moved and they blinked, and occasionally their mouth moved. Like when they were talking to each other, mouth didn't move. When they were talking to the doctor, their
Mm.
mouth moved. I don't know what that means because very little exposition in the episode in regards to who these were, what they really cared about, what their motivations were. There was no explanation other than, hey, I've run across you guys in the future, and so I have some experience with you in regards from the doctor. But
Yeah, I think their kind of whole thing is they used to be the dominant species of the Earth. They went into hibernation. I guess then humans rose to power, and now they want to take what's rightfully theirs back.
yeah,
Now what raises them from their hibernation, or if there's multiple times that they've raised from hibernation, I'm not completely clear on all of that. It seems like um, it's not really well explained. At least in this episode, they don't really give a lot of backstory on that. That's something that you have to kind of do your research and like, okay, what are these aliens? Because
yeah.
they really don't go into a ton of exposition about them. The doctor does mention a couple things, but for the most part, she doesn't get into a ton of detail. But they do want to take over the Earth, and
Yes, they do by flooding it.